to another episode of Meandering. This is just going to be me waffling around as I walk around a CSGO custom map. I did this because a friend of mine has been begging me to do this. If you're a random guy who finds this, cool, hope you enjoy. Today I'm looking at Treatment, which is a diffusal map. It's a gray box. Got some colors, so not entirely gray. I'm going to start on T side heading towards a long. Very interesting pig there. Got a bit of detailing on the outside, which is nice for a gray box. And no, straight to sight on this bridge. It appears that this is also connected to T-spawn, so you could come under this bridge or over this bridge. You can peek onto site, which is here. This is the plantable zone. Very interesting. I'm trying to think about... So if I go here, I'm not really exposed to what looks to be a CT-controlled rotate path. Yeah, well, I'll touch on the CT side of things in a bit, but looks like these paths kind of culminate into this. You can also just fully cross the bridge into what appears to be a mid type thing. And we can also jump into CT spawn. I think CT spawn is spawn here. So that's interesting how the A pathing works. Looking at the A side itself, it seems pretty sparse. You're just going to be... Oh, shit. I have a bind that allows me to place props and it just fat triggered it. My bad.
Let's go!
Yeah, it appears that... Very simple site, probably just going to be planting here, and then you're going to be playing, jiggling around off of this post plant. Or jiggling from up top as well. Appears to be a bit of movement you might be able to do. Yeah. So you can get onto this, and jump onto this, and then here. That's cool. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. And I think you can also hit this jump if you aren't terrible at the game. I guess I'm terrible at the game. Oh my god. I'm gonna hit this jump if I die trying. Oh my, I'm actually gonna lose it. I'm actually... Oh my, it's possible. There's no way it's not. I'm so bad. Ah, there we go. And the clipping doesn't let you plant here, so you can't do anything funny, but it's an off angle that took 30 seconds getting to because I'm ass, but if you're actually like remotely talented, that should be... Thinking of the CT perspective on A, you're just leaving spawn, you come out here, you can go straight onto the site, and then... Okay, so... That's like the staircase that T's will be using to actually get onto the site normally. You know, you aren't going to be doing this jump. Or they're going to be jumping over this mid area. So you can't really get an angle from far back here. You're probably going to have one guy holding this, and then finding an angle to play around the stair, watching the staircase without being exposed to this whole bridge and underpass. This whole CT area kind of exists. I haven't really touched on that. Come over here. You could throw utility over, maybe boost if one feels like it. Let me get a bot in here. That's the clearance. He's standing. You can jump these for an angle, but actually peek it. Door. Upper route. I see. This is like another place to play as an actual angle to fight people coming up the staircase. Also a post plant thing. Could also play this as a... Wait, can you not? Oh, it's too steep for a player to stand on. You can jump on it though. And then you can jump here. Hey, I didn't fail to jump that time. So yeah, and obviously you got this one here. And am I crazy or was there a gap? Oh. I'm assuming that's not intentional. Openable door. Nade window above. Can you make damage? So if you felt like it, like Rainbow Six Siege, make a hole and probably get a nice angle onto the doorway. I mean the staircase from the doorway. So let's say site mid. So this kind of leads into mid. I'll touch on that later. Look, T to A. So yeah, you're really just going to be splitting between this underpass area and trying to take mid control to also leverage this kind of drop flank, because otherwise you're funneling yourselves all to the staircase. There is, of course, technically the option of doing this movement, but it doesn't seem all too feasible. You can also jump here, get a teammate to boost. If you want another angle, probably have this guy stay crouching, I jump on him. They can't see my head yet, and then I uncrouch, and then I have a normal peek, and then I can take fights before I start moving. That's interesting. Going back to the T side, I'm going to look at T to B. T spawn is over here, right here. This whole entire thing feels weird, but it's a gray box. I'm not going to sweat about it too much. Running through what appears to be a storage area. can go straight into the left, which wraps back around, so there's like a rotate thing just to make stuff smoother. Corner here that's clipped. So this leads to... Okay, so this looks like a longer route to here, if I'm not mistaken. This feels faster to me, but it's probably very similar in timing. This leads to mid. Yes, it does. It is. So that's interesting. You don't see this too often where T's get access to like a vantage point on middle. I can't think of a single map in the competitive pool that does that. The closest thing is Dust 2 having the sniper's perch. Well, not sniper perch, but being able to look down the doors. But that's just like a very thin off angle, and they removed that from being seen from spawn. This is a lot more control given, not just a thin angle that gets smoked everywhere. And a very thin gravel area, you can jump here, and this is how you kind of wrap B. Let's look at the main way to go B. We're not taking mid. It's to go here. We got this kind of double staircase. Breakable glass. This is a pet peeve of mine with Counter-Strike. I feel like glass break noises are way too fucking loud. Like, this is a gunshot, and it's the same as glass shattering. I don't think it should be. This is a random thing. Little nitpick. These little pieces of glass. Got some random things here for you to bump into while you're pushing sight. That's fun. Little NBK type off angle, and then a little pit headshot angle. More glass. That's wonderful. Oh, that's gonna be terrible for the recording. I forgot to turn my game audio down. That's gotta hurt. Oh no. AoE at B site. I've been kind of rambling about nothing of value for the past minute, huh? That's what tends to be how these goes anyways. I like the staircase to nowhere. I mean, yeah, there's a door here technically, but I guess you have an angle, you have a vantage point. It's not terrible, so this is B main. You can also come out here, kind of peek wider, I guess. You look there, and then you are less exposed to that, and then you're just exposed to this. Interesting. This looks like to be a CT-controlled back area, yep. Oh, this can be jumped from both sides for just off-angle potential. Very interesting. And you can't not jump back up. So, elevated area, this balcony. Just very interesting. B-site feels very sparse. The site does not feel like a site. At least, I feel like in gameplay that might feel different, but... Like here, I'm coming out of this main, and I don't feel like this is a site, if that makes sense. Like as a CT, what am I doing? I am leaving spawn, I'm hitting this wrap through this little U-turn thing, or I'm just, this is the faster route. What is the point of this? I guess this is exposed to mid, not to like A? If they had done the mid jump, so you'd do this to be, I guess safer. This is an interesting area. You could lop off like all of this, and I think you would lose too much with the map. I feel like this was added later on as a way to help with timings, but that's besides the point. You're gonna go through here. You're gonna be playing around this. There's a headshot angle that you can peek on, peek out of, crouch, etc. And this is kind of like the main CT way to look down onto main. You can also come through here and get an off angle, maybe sit tight, sit under. Who knows, maybe you can, I don't know what the timings are like, we'll look at that later, but you can maybe jump up to here, you get an off angle, so unexpected. Alright, interesting, and this brings us back to mid. Mid is a very, it feels like a courtyard. It vaguely reminds me of Canals, which is a map that never really got to see any proper competitive play, but Valve tried to make it seem like a map for a while. As a T, if I'm going to mid, yeah, I just like go here. Sorry, not here. You go here to this bridge and you're here. Or take this elevated path. CTs don't really have a way to mid aside from this, which is a T if they wanted to, could smoke off every round super easily. If I'm a CT, I could smoke off this, but I can't really do much about this elevated position. I could also smoke that off, but with how large this is, you could just go to the left and probably hit a safe drop without having to worry too much. The fact that you can sit underneath this is very peculiar. We have this movement right here. CTs will just be jumping over this as a way to fight. Not a one-way drop. They do have the way back with a little bit of movement. Very small map overall. I feel like there isn't too much more to say. All that really matters now is the timings to really understand this map. I feel like there isn't too much of substance to say. It feels like a very small, quick, fast-paced map. Mid seems extremely simple to a point where it's actually professionally so. A lot of times I'll see big mids or more complicated mids, and the big mids are simple. This is a small and simple mid, which you don't see too often. And, you know, just quick rotate into A, I'm flanking B, or A, I'm flanking CT to A. You could use this for a B rap, but this is definitely more A rap oriented. As a CT, what am I really thinking about doing? I'm gonna have someone probably posted on this car. If I place someone here and I'm playing here, do we see each other? No, not at all. Perfect. Just making sure there's no like feet shenaniganery. There might be a little thing here. No, it doesn't look to be. They have these perfectly placed, but there's probably going to be CT playing around this area whose goal is to make sure that Ts can't really come into this place to go through this gravel route or flank over this drop fence thing. And then you just kind of brawl out on site. Yeah, hitting site without any mid control seems very hard on this map because you only have one simple entrance. A is specifically, right, is just the staircase, the movement where you're really exposed. I feel like this boost thing that I theorized about earlier is actually going to be a pretty essential part of attacks on this site, where you just jump on this guy, uncrouch, and then you have angles. Otherwise, you're just funneling up the staircase, and a CT is just going to have a field day dealing with you from a myriad of angles. You know, back here, I can isolate myself from all that and just sit here. It's very difficult to do much as a T. Obviously with utility it's going to be easier, but there's quite a lot you have to worry about as you're attacking the site, because you're all just funneling through this one area. So taking mid is very useful. B, I feel like kind of has the same principle by small tiny choke. I do wonder what the timing is. If CTs are able to get up to something like here, that would be absurd. But with the way that this area is structured, allowing for, what's the word I'm looking for here, like 2 ways to approach this area, it makes it seem like it was intended to be near a contact point, because otherwise this area feels kind of pointless that I'm no-clipping through right now. Instead, this is just faster, and also a quick rotate into mid. So I'm going to start doing a timing check, and I'm going to rush B. I think I took the longer route, but we'll see. I can peek this at 14 seconds. Let's take a look at it on T side. Oh, I can't. Oh, I have to MP_ restart game 1.
No more talking. Now we fight.
I was not facing the right way.
Let's go. Let's go.
So it was 14 seconds to get to there. I'm assuming that this will be a lot faster. I was incorrect. It is not a lot faster. So CT could easily get tucked into this angle around the time T is peeking around here. That's what the contact point feels like. So it's going to be very likely CTs are mollying this deep from all the way back here, or smoking, and then they're going to be playing kind of around this general area. You can peek around this awkwardly. You can jump for an off angle. You can play tucked on this. Maybe if you do the smoke molly combo, you could maybe wrap into here, which is really unexpected. Feels very difficult for a T to do all too much about this without, again, leveraging mid, which is not too hard to do. I'm going to look at the timing for a T to A.
Let's go, my brothers.
I'm going to look at the bridge peak. At 8 seconds, I'm able to peek this doorway. So let's see what that looks like for ACT. I gotta change the draw time. Yeah, I didn't do warm up. 5, 4, 3. Okay, so this route is a T can be posted on this bridge for a while for someone coming through there. I want to see how quickly I can get to site just one way.
Grabbing gear, let's
That's
go.
a speed. Wait, I'm going the wrong. I'm so lost. You spawn looking at a damn wall, and I'm like so confused. I'm just bad. I'm making excuses. Okay, around the time that a T was able to peek out here, a CT would be able to peek out here, which means that you can't really aggress this underpass area that I originally thought you might have been able to, because a teammate is just going to be posted and taking this fight. So that is interesting. Well, this isn't clipped, I just realized, meaning it is maybe possible to boost up onto here, and then, oh, that's not clipped. I'm not gonna, this doesn't seem intentional. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. But yeah, timing seems interesting to allow for a CT to only hold like this area. They could maybe jump here or use utility to make it across, but a T is definitely going to be posted. Let's take a look at the mid. See how quickly I can jump over the fence. I just have a seizure every time I start. I'm so bad. It's insane how little I understand this map. At 9 seconds, I'm looking at this bridge guy who was here at 8 seconds. So, maybe you aren't going to be posted here because there's going to be another guy posted here. But, oh, it's the timing on the bridge. That's what really matters. Before we do that, MP underscore after round time after MP underscore freeze time. No, MP underscore round end timer. Round deployment. Round time. Restart delay. There we go. And we're going to put that to 0.1 and we're going to hit 8.
Get ready. This is a free fire zone.
I'm not on the right team. There we go.
Go, go, go.
I'm just all over the place right now. Okay, so it's a little longer. So at 12 seconds I'll be able to peek. So a CT will easily be able to peek this and take this fight. This is a very fast-paced map. A CT is rushing into here off rip, taking a gunfight with another T that is rushing into here off rip. Well, this is a lot of fast contacts. Now I want to take a look at this underpass area. Because looking at the timings that I did earlier, it actually seems like the bridge hole isn't as viable as I initially presumed. At 8 seconds I'm around here, yeah, so this guy that's coming here peeks this guy, and then this guy about half a second after. But this guy that's up here has to worry about, this bridge player, has to worry about someone who, hopped over the fence and was in mid. This courtyard is fighting here, and then we're going to have a guy come up this balcony in about 3 seconds that's ready to support, but until then he's going to have to hold out. It seems like a very brawly map. There's going to be a molly, a smoke, hell of utility on this B main choke to stall this. One guy, the one CT's doing that, and then I think you're going to have 2 CTs A and 2 CTs mid trying to extend control to this kind of bridge area / underpass. If you can take all this, then you're in a great spot to retake B, and you have full control of A. Speaking of retaking, how are you going to be playing post plant? Where are you planting? I just found the box. God damn it. It seems like you're just gonna. This is like the safe plant, right? That isn't exposed to much. This is the safest safe plant, Christ. But this is probably like the real plant that's open right here to the most things, as well as this headshot angle. I feel like you're gonna have something vaguely akin to Inferno Graveyard, where a guy's just waiting here and then unpeaks. This is CSGO Inferno Graveyard. CS2 apparently is getting rid of that angle, which is probably for the better, but I'm gonna miss doing dumb stuff there. It's really interesting how this map will be played out. From the CT perspective, a lot of aggression is possible. A side, you're just going to be planning anywhere for this underpass bridge, yeah. I'm actually very curious to see how this plays, but overall, final thoughts. I believe that the contact points with the way they're placed very far up. You're going to have a meta of 2A, 2 mid, 1B. The B guy is just expending as much utility as possible to stop an early rush here, and is going to try and get one of many different angles to try and hold this from a way that is unexpected. And while that's happening, you have 2 people who hop this fence and are fighting for this bridge, or smoke molly, whatever, and then they have to worry about this again, smoke molly, whatever. And if there's a lot B, they can quick rotate through this gravel, maybe throw a high support flash off this wall for a teammate. And then the 2A players, again, they're in a bit of a weird spot. They're probably going to want to throw high flashes off this wall as they swing to deal with bridge and underpass and make it across. There might be a dust 2 styles to go back off this to make it across, and then they can fight. If there was a smoke, it'd probably not be there. It'd probably be here, so that way they could walk through the smoke and fight. MP underscore by underscore anywhere 1. MP underscore by time 9999. boom, smoke.
Throwing smoke.
Something like that, and then I can make it here safely without being seen to the bridge, and then I have all these angles, or I can just run across and I'm playing past this pipe and I can peek around here, and yeah, there's a lot of interesting plays for CTs. Ts in terms of utility, they're just going to be wanting to smoke the one single retake point right here. The door as well, or heaven, is going to be something to worry about with utility, but this is the most essential thing to smoke. For A, for B, the same thing applies to here. You don't want to deal with someone playing these headshot angles as you attempt to extend map control. You might, if you don't want to extend as much map control, you're probably just going to throw a smoke right here. This is a pretty simple map overall. I feel like there has to be more shit, like more cover. For example, I feel like just adding this here makes the site play infinitely better. This box that I fat fingered unironically adds value. If you could jump on it, there we go. Boom, you have an off angle, you can peek this better. This just adds another place to play, another corner to clear. It feels very empty, these sites. They don't feel like sites, if that makes sense. I feel like there should be more stuff involved in these to make it feel more like a site. A as well doesn't feel as bad actually, but actually I take it back. A feels pretty good overall. I do feel like this the timing on this door feels a little off, but it's not bad. I think I'm just bad at the game. Let me join CT side and see
We
I
are
rush in,
right.
how quickly I can open that door and take a peek. 9, 10, yeah, 2 seconds. This guy's posted on me for 2 seconds if you wanted to. Or I guess it would more likely be this guy, because Bridge guy is getting absolutely plowed by the people in mid. Oh, there's more jumpy things here. I guess you could theoretically boost and get an angle here, and you can also take an alternative fight onto these guys over here if you don't suck at parkour like I do. Very interesting. I'm very curious to see if this map gets developed further. I don't think it's been updated in a while, but I'd love to play this. Seems very fast-paced, rush-oriented. I could actually see like, viably using a shotgun or SMG on a buy round, but yeah, overall, cool map. I feel like B's a little weak. I think mid and A are interesting. I don't think they're great, but they're interesting at the very least. They're different from a lot of other maps. Like this, I don't know, maybe put a piece of cover here. I could see that being useful. Not necessary, but just, you know, just something to play around. And definitely on B side, there's got to be like something that can be placed here to make this area feel like better. With the way it is right now, just so empty. This feels like nothing. Maybe simplify this by getting rid of these posts. I forgot the word for them. If you still want a way to like jump up here, then you can just like, you know, place some barrels and then boom, you're fine. Yo, insane barrel placement. I feel like there's a joke to be made, but I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, that pretty much concludes me meandering around treatment. Hope that the one guy who sits through this enjoys it, and if a random other person does, what's wrong with you? Go watch someone good, like Tax on Hive, if you want map content. And yeah, see you guys next time, I guess.